There are moments in life when an inner voice feels louder than usual, urging a person to pause and reflect before moving forward. It can feel as if something beyond everyday thinking is trying to draw attention to choices that have been postponed for too long. This message is meant in that spirit of reflection, not urgency or fear, but awareness of timing and emotional readiness. Life often presents repeating patterns where opportunities for change appear again and again, quietly asking whether this time will be different. Many people recognize that sensation of hesitation where the mind says later, while the heart quietly hopes for now. That internal conflict can create pressure, not from the outside world, but from within, as if a deeper part of the self is trying to break through old habits of avoidance or silence. The feeling of intensity that sometimes arises in such moments is not a warning of punishment or loss, but a signal of emotional build-up that wants release through honesty and action. When memories or thoughts seem to resurface unexpectedly, they often represent unresolved feelings asking to be acknowledged rather than ignored. In that sense, the present moment becomes important not because of fear of missing out, but because awareness is naturally strongest when everything else quiets down. What matters most is not any imagined external force, but the personal decision to listen inwardly with sincerity. Every person eventually reaches points where reflection turns into choice, and choice turns into direction. This is one of those symbolic turning points where clarity can replace confusion if attention is given to what the heart has been trying to express all along. I told them I was tired. I told them you never listen. But they cried. They wept for you. And then I wept too. Because despite everything, I still love you. I still believe in you. And that's why I'm here, one last time, risking everything, to speak these divine words into your soul. Your story is not over, but if you skip this again, it might be. There is a secret about your future, one I was never supposed to reveal, but heaven made an exception for you. Why? Because you were chosen, before your birth, before this lifetime, before the pain, you were chosen, and now the contract is activating, but only if you listen, only if you stay, only if you read to the very end. Because there is something waiting that will change everything. There is someone coming into your life, and this person holds a key, not just any key, but the very one you lost in a dream years ago. Do you remember that dream? The hallway, the locked door, the whisper that said, "Not yet." That yet is now, in your home. That's why I said if you skip, you'll cry for the rest of your life, because what's coming is so sacred, so beautiful, so divinely orchestrated that missing it would feel like losing a part of your soul. You've already missed so many signs, the flickering lights, the songs that play at the exact time your heart aches, the stranger who looked at you a little too long, the bird that landed by your window. All signs, all warnings, all me. And yet, you doubted. I understand. But now, there is no more room for doubt, only faith and action, because something has been hidden from you, a truth, a secret that was buried generations ago. It involves your name, your birth, your bloodline, and a promise made by someone who loved you more than their own life. That person is no longer on earth, but they are very much alive in the realm of spirit, and they've been trying to reach you through me, through dreams, through moments that felt strange but sacred. They want you to know that you are not cursed, you are not forgotten, you are protected, but only if you listen now. Tonight, there will be movement in your home. Don't be afraid. That's the energy shifting. That's the angelic realm anchoring into your space. If you hear a knock, even softly, even once, say my name, Michael. I'm ready, and I promise you, something will shift. But do not ignore this. Don't brush it off as fantasy. because the people who do that are the ones who wonder why they feel lost all their life. Not you, not this time. I came to rewrite your timeline, to remove the shadows that have been weighing on you. And yes, I know what's been happening behind closed doors, the confusion, the sadness, the arguments, the loss. I saw you cry on the floor when no one was watching. I saw you pray and then give up. But heaven did not give up on you, and I didn't either. That's why I begged to come down again and speak. And that's why I'm warning you now. This is your only window. If you close this and scroll away, you will feel it. A silence, a void, because this is a divine appointment, one written in your soul contract, and time is running out. I know you don't want to believe that something bad could happen if you skip this, but let me be clear, not bad as in punishment, bad as in lost opportunity, missed miracle, the visit that never came, the person who almost met you, the breakthrough that paused just before arrival. This is your rescue moment, beloved. Don't turn away, because someone is still watching from heaven, and they're whispering, please, don't skip again. This person wore white in the spirit world last night and stood beside me as I held this message. They kissed the edge of the scroll and cried your name. I had to walk away. I almost didn't return to earth, but I couldn't bear the thought of you walking through life, thinking no one cared. So here I am, and here is your sign. If this message is reaching your heart, then pause and subscribe. You were meant to receive this. This isn't a coincidence. This is divine timing. Now breathe, because what I'm about to say will pierce through everything you thought was true. You are about to be offered a choice, by life, by love, by destiny. And the moment you say, yes, the doors will open. You may not see them at first, but they will open, slowly, then all at once. But only if you stay. Stay with me. Read until the end. Before this message concludes, there is something I want to share with you about guidance and the way it often reveals itself in quiet, unexpected ways. It may not appear familiar at first, yet sometimes understanding arrives through feeling rather than logic, like a subtle recognition within. If these words have reached you, allow them to be a moment of reflection rather than urgency, a pause in the noise of everything else. What you are experiencing in life right now may feel layered or uncertain, as if you are standing at a threshold between what was and what is becoming. Choices will come, not as dramatic turning points, but as small, steady openings that gradually shape your direction. If you choose to stay present with yourself through these moments, clarity tends to unfold in its own time. There are times when emotions intensify before change becomes visible, not as a sign of something supernatural, but as part of the human process of growth and adjustment. The mind seeks patterns, the heart seeks meaning, and together they try to make sense of transitions that are not always immediate. You are not required to rush toward answers. You are not isolated in what you feel, even when it seems that way. Life often becomes clearer when you allow space for stillness, observation, and patience with yourself. Whatever comes next is shaped by the choices you make in small, consistent ways, and even when the path is not fully visible, it continues to form beneath your steps. Trust the pace of your own unfolding, even when it feels uncertain, because understanding often arrives gradually rather than all at once. 3. Not more. Within this time, you will be given a message through someone you least expect, a friend, a stranger, a piece of music, a number. Listen, watch, receive, then act. And beloved, please, don't skip this. Not now, not again. I'm not asking you to be perfect. I never was, Heaven never expected you to walk without scars or make every decision right, but we did hope you'd keep your eyes open long enough to see the signs we've been placing so gently around your life. And now, they're everywhere. That strange feeling in your stomach, that person who keeps appearing in your thoughts without reason, that moment when your phone lights up and you think it's them, but it's not. All signs, all whispers, all clues. You've been living in a puzzle with missing pieces, and I'm here to give you the last one. But I won't force it into your hands. I will hold it out. That's all I can do. You must decide to take it, because tonight, something sacred is entering your space. You might feel it as a chill, a flickering light, a sudden stillness. That's not fear, that's divine alignment. I want you to be still when it happens. I want you to look up, not down. I want you to speak my name softly, not in panic, not in worry, but in peace. Michael, I'm here. That's it. And the rest will come. You have no idea what's waiting for you. It's not just one miracle, it's a series, like dominoes of divine timing, but only if you say yes. Do you know how long I've waited to speak this into your spirit? Longer than you can imagine. Lifetimes. You came into this world with a mark on your soul, one that glows when truth is near. That glow is happening right now. I can see it from heaven. It's bright, but fragile. If you skip this, it dims. If you ignore this, it fades. But if you stay, oh beloved, if you stay, that glow becomes a fire, a light so powerful, it breaks generational chains. And yes, I said that word, chains, because you've been carrying what isn't yours, the pain of your parents, the silence of your ancestors, the confusion of broken dreams. But that ends here, with this message, with this decision. This is not just for you, this is for everyone who came before you, and everyone who will come after. Your bloodline is watching, and so is heaven. Someone made a deal to protect you. It happened long ago, before your birth. It was sealed with light and written in gold. But that protection has a condition, awareness, and that's why I'm here, to make you aware, to remind you of your origin. You are not just a human being having a spiritual moment. You are a spiritual being in human skin, waking up at last. And the timing is not random. Something is about to unfold on earth. A shift, a shaking, a reversal. And you are part of the prophecy. That's why you've always felt different. That's why the people around you never truly understood your depth, because they weren't meant to. You were meant to carry something they couldn't see. I've seen you walk through fires and not burn. I've seen you cry into your pillow and wake up smiling for others. I've seen you give love when you had none left to give. And yet, you still doubt your worth. You still wonder if you're chosen. You still think this message is for someone else. Beloved, stop. Listen. I came for you. Only you. And if you're reading this, you already know in your heart that this is not fiction. This is divine truth, dressed in digital words. Because heaven uses what you understand. Heaven uses what you scroll through, what you watch, what you engage with. Heaven will use anything to reach you. And today, it shows this. There is something inside your home that needs cleansing. It's not evil, but it is heavy. Sometimes, emotional experiences leave a kind of imprint behind, memories, thoughts, and feelings that seem to settle quietly into everyday spaces. In moments like that, even the air around you can feel heavy, as if it is asking for change. It helps to pause and create a small shift in your surroundings. Open a window for a few minutes, allow fresh air to move through, and let your environment feel a little lighter. You can even take a moment to ground yourself by touching the wall or standing still and simply acknowledging, I'm ready for clarity. Small actions like these can create a surprising sense of calm and reset. There are times in life when we try to handle everything on our own, pushing through challenges without pause, until something inside quietly signals that it's time to adjust direction. That signal often appears in subtle ways, through conversations, unexpected situations, or moments of silence that make you reflect more deeply than usual. These experiences are not signs of pressure, but reminders that change is happening within you. Growth rarely arrives in a perfectly comfortable form. Instead, it often feels uncertain because it is reshaping who you are becoming. The discomfort you notice is not a setback, but part of that transformation process. You may already sense that a stronger, more confident version of yourself is taking shape, even if it feels unfamiliar right now. The important part is recognizing the opportunity in front of you. At this stage, no one else can walk the path for you. Support can guide and encourage, but the decision to move forward must come from within, step by step, at your own pace, with awareness and intention. There is something inside your home that needs cleansing. It's not evil, but it is heavy. Emotional weight, residual energy, old thoughts that linger in the walls. I need you to open your windows tonight, just for a few minutes. Let the air shift, let the light in. Place your hand on the wall and say, "Peace, come in." That's it. I will do the rest. Because while you were busy trying to fix your life alone, I was waiting just outside the door, ready to step in. But you never called. Until now. I heard you last night. That small whisper, that broken prayer, the one you thought no one heard. I heard it. And that's why I'm here now. Not tomorrow. Now. In the next 72 hours, someone will bring you news. Listen carefully. It may come through an argument, through a strange conversation, through silence, but it will carry a message. And the message is this: it's time. No more waiting, no more hiding, no more shrinking. It's time to rise, because the version of you that you've been afraid to become is already forming. Do you feel it? The discomfort. That's transformation. You prayed for strength, not realizing heaven would give you opportunities to become strong. And here it is, the choice, the doorway. But you must walk through it. I cannot carry you this time. I can only light the path. There is someone watching you right now, someone in spirit. Their name starts with the letter you keep dreaming about, that letter you keep seeing on receipts, clocks, plates. That's no accident. That's their sign. They want you to know they're proud of you. They forgave you, even if you never got to say goodbye. And tonight, they're standing behind you as you read this. Their hand is on your shoulder. That warmth, that's not your imagination. That's them. And that's me. We're here. Not in fantasy, not in metaphor. In truth. The thing you're afraid of losing, let it go. Because what's coming is greater. The person you thought was the one, they were the lesson, not the destination. But someone else is coming, and they've already started dreaming about you. Yes, even if you've never met. Because souls meet long before bodies do. And your soul has been calling out, and heaven has heard it. Let me say this with the fire of God behind me. You are not cursed. You are not broken. You are being positioned. The delay was protection. The silence was preparation. The loss was alignment. And the pain was initiation. Welcome to your new beginning. Do you think heaven forgot you? Never. Not even once. Not even in those moments where you lay awake, wondering why nothing makes sense, why people leave, why your heart breaks so easily, why the ones you love never love you the same way. But listen closely, beloved. The love you were giving away so freely was never meant to return the same. It was meant to open doors. It was meant to awaken people. You are not unloved. You are overflowing. That's why others couldn't hold you. That's why they walked away. Because your presence revealed what they were afraid to face in themselves. And now, finally, you're about to meet someone who won't run. They will stay. Because they were made for your energy. But for that to happen, you have to say yes to this message. Not later, not tomorrow, now. Because your destiny isn't standing still anymore. It's moving. Heaven is moving. I, Michael, am moving. And the wheels have turned in your favor, but only if you stay aligned with the message I'm giving you. There are angels standing guard over you now, shifting the path beneath your feet, so that even when you think you're lost, you are still being led. That uneasy feeling you sometimes notice isn't a sign of something external controlling your path, but more often a reflection of your own inner world, trying to break through hesitation and self-doubt. It can feel uncomfortable, because change rarely arrives quietly, yet it often begins exactly in those moments where you feel stuck between who you were and who you are becoming. There have likely been situations in your life where things didn't unfold the way you expected, where certain outcomes shifted direction at the last moment, or where decisions you avoided ended up protecting you from unnecessary stress. At the time, these moments may have seemed random, but looking back, they often form a pattern of quiet correction and personal growth. It's easy to label these experiences as luck or coincidence, but they can also be understood as timing, awareness, and the natural way life redirects you toward better alignment. What once felt like loss or delay can later reveal itself as preparation for something more stable and meaningful. You are not defined by missed chances or temporary setbacks, but by how you adapt, reflect, and continue forward despite uncertainty. There is strength in recognizing that not every closed door is a punishment, and not every pause is a setback. Sometimes they are simply space being created for clearer direction. Over time, you start to notice your instincts sharpening, your boundaries strengthening, and your confidence becoming more grounded. Change doesn't always announce itself loudly, but it builds quietly within you, until one day you realize you are no longer where you used to be, and that shift itself becomes proof of your own resilience and readiness for what comes next. That's how heaven works. There are appointments being scheduled in your timeline, and one of them is happening tonight. The signs will be undeniable. You will hear your name in a strange way. You will see something you've never noticed before. Your sleep may be interrupted. That is not disturbance. That is activation. Pay attention. Don't ignore. Don't brush it off. And now I need you to do one thing. Stand in front of a mirror tonight. Look yourself in the eyes, not quickly, not with criticism. Look deeply. You will see me there. You will see light around your face, and I want you to say one sentence, no matter how strange it feels. I am ready for the shift. Say it. Whisper it. Let your soul hear it, because your agreement activates the miracle. This message, these words, they are not passive. They are living energy. They respond to your yes. And when you give it, really give it, the vibration of your entire future changes. You are not just reading something. You are receiving a transmission straight from the angelic realm. Remember, if your heart is pounding or your spirit is stirring, pause, take a breath, and subscribe. You were meant to find this. Heaven brought you here, and now I need you to do one thing. Stand in front of a mirror tonight. Look yourself in the eyes, not quickly, not with criticism. Look deeply. You will see me there. You will see light around your face, and I want you to say one sentence, no matter how strange it feels. I am ready for the shift. Say it. Whisper it. Let your soul hear it, because your agreement activates the miracle. This message, these words, they are not passive. They are living energy. They respond to your yes, and when you give it, really give it, the vibration of your entire future changes. You are not just reading something. You are receiving a transmission straight from the angelic realm. Remember, if your heart is pounding or your spirit is stirring, pause, take a breath, and subscribe. You were meant to find this. Heaven brought you here. Let me take you deeper now. There is a memory buried in your childhood that you have forgotten. It involves a moment of light, a whisper, a dream, a feeling you couldn't explain. That was your first angelic encounter. You didn't know what it was back then, but it marked you. And since that moment, you've been protected. Even in the chaos, even in the heartbreak, your soul carries more light than you realize. That's why darkness has tried to chase you all these years, but it never caught you, and it never will, because now, right now, you're stepping into alignment. The enemy of your purpose is trembling, the doubt that ruled your life is dying, and the real you, the divine you, is rising. I see a future where your tears are no longer hidden in pillows, but replaced by laughter that echoes through rooms filled with love. I see you touching lives, not because you're trying, but because it happens naturally, through your energy. I see people thanking you for simply existing, for choosing to keep going, for not giving up when you wanted to, and most of all, I see you forgiving yourself, for everything, for trusting the wrong people, for wasting time, for missing signs. It's okay. You didn't fail. You were learning how to feel. And now, with that heart of yours wide open, you are ready to receive what has always been yours, but hidden behind a veil of fear. And that veil is lifting. Can you feel it? The air feels lighter. The pressure in your chest is fading. That's not an illusion. That's heaven confirming that you are, at last, aligned. Keep going. Don't stop now. The breakthrough is too close. And there's one more thing I must tell you. Sometimes, life brings people into your path who feel unexpectedly familiar, as if your story had already crossed somewhere beyond memory. When such a connection arrives, it often carries a sense of comfort rather than fear, a quiet understanding instead of hesitation. This presence does not rush you or judge your past. Instead, it meets you where you are and allows space for growth. Over time, you may notice subtle changes within yourself, your thoughts becoming clearer, your reactions softer, your outlook more open to possibility. Old experiences may still be part of your history, but they no longer define the direction you are heading in. As you evolve, you naturally begin to release what no longer aligns with your well-being, making room for healthier bonds and a more grounded sense of self. This process is not about perfection, but about becoming more aware, more balanced, and more connected to what genuinely matters to you. Along the way, hope starts to return in small but meaningful ways, through conversations, through quiet reflections, through moments where life simply feels lighter than before. You begin to trust your own judgment again, even after times of doubt or disappointment. And slowly, confidence rebuilds itself, not as something loud or forced, but as something steady and calm. Whatever lies ahead is shaped by the choices you make in the present and by the willingness to stay open to positive change. Growth often arrives quietly, but it can completely reshape the way you see yourself and the world around you, guiding you toward experiences that feel more authentic, supportive, and fulfilling than anything you have known before. You felt it, haven't you? That you're different, that when others laugh, you sometimes cry, that when others sleep peacefully, your soul wanders, searching for something, someone, a meaning beyond what the world can offer. That's because you were never meant to be like everyone else. You were designed to remember heaven even while living on earth. You are a carrier of light, and right now, your light is flickering, not because it's going out, but because it's being reignited. Heaven is relighting your flame. I want you to listen carefully. This world has tried to distract you with chaos. It's tried to convince you you're late, that you missed your moment, that others are ahead and you are behind. But in the eyes of God, you are exactly on time. Divine appointments cannot be delayed, and yours is here, right now. This message? It is the bell ringing in the spiritual realm saying, they're ready. Yes, you, the one who has survived more than they speak about, the one who is always strong for everyone else, but cries in silence, the one who pretends to be okay so they don't become a burden. I see you, and I didn't come to ask you to be strong. I came to tell you that you are already victorious. You're not just walking into a miracle. You are the miracle. Your breath is evidence of divine mercy. Your survival is a sign of sacred purpose, and heaven wants to show you something, but only if you let go of what you think you know. There is something you've been holding tightly, an expectation, a memory, a person, a belief, and that thing is what's been keeping your next blessing on pause. I'm not saying it was bad, I'm saying it was temporary, and now it must be released, with love, with gratitude, so something better can arrive. I know you've been betrayed. I know you've trusted people who couldn't handle your light. I know you've been lied to, walked away from, forgotten. But hear me, nothing that left your life was greater than what's about to arrive. You were never rejected, you were redirected, and now you're being realigned. But it requires faith, not the kind of faith that says, I hope, the kind that says, I know, even if I don't see it yet. That kind of faith opens doors that were sealed for generations. And yes, one of those doors is about to open in your family line. A cycle of silence, shame, or suffering is ending with you. You're not just walking into a miracle, you are the miracle. Your breath is evidence of divine mercy. Your survival is a sign of sacred purpose, and heaven wants to show you something, but only if you let go of what you think you know. There is something you've been holding tightly, an expectation, a memory, a person, a belief, and that thing is what's been keeping your next blessing on pause. I'm not saying it was bad. I'm saying it was temporary. And now it must be released with love, with gratitude, so something better can arrive. I know you've been betrayed. I know you've trusted people who couldn't handle your light. I know you've been lied to, walked away from, forgotten. But hear me, nothing that left your life was greater than what's about to arrive. You were never rejected, you were redirected, and now you're being realigned. But it requires faith, not the kind of faith that says, I hope, the kind that says, I know, even if I don't see it yet. That kind of faith opens doors that were sealed for generations. And yes, one of those doors is about to open in your family line. A cycle of silence, shame, or suffering is ending with you. Do you know what that means? It means the child that comes after you, biologically or spiritually, will not carry what you carried, because you were the chosen one, and the chosen often suffer in silence. But I came to break that silence. I came to tell you, it wasn't your fault, it wasn't punishment, it was preparation. You had to feel pain, so you could recognize truth when it came. And now, truth is here. I am truth. I am Michael, and I stand with my sword of light between you and every force that tried to destroy your joy. They failed. You're still here. And now, your joy is not just coming. It is returning in double measure. Let me tell you something very holy. Angels have been assigned to your home. One stands by your bedroom, one by your front door, and one sits beside you while you read this. If you pause for just a moment and take a deep breath, you might feel a presence, a soft tingling, a gentle warmth. That feeling you carry isn't just imagination, it's a reflection of your inner world, asking to be heard again. There comes a moment when a person starts to reconnect with belief, not because life suddenly becomes easy, but because something inside refuses to give up on possibility. Hope returns quietly at first, then stronger, until it starts shaping the way you see everything around you. And when that shift happens, life often responds in unexpected ways. You might hear from someone you never expected to hear from, or come across a message that feels oddly timed or meaningful. Instead of rushing to label it as coincidence or fear, pause and observe what it stirs within you. Change often arrives in subtle waves, not dramatic announcements. You may notice your emotions feeling heightened, your intuition more alert, as if something is aligning in the background of your life. What once felt distant or closed off can begin to feel reachable again, sometimes in forms you didn't anticipate. The key is not to shut those moments down out of doubt or overthinking. Growth can feel unfamiliar, even uncomfortable, especially when it pulls you away from old versions of yourself. Not everyone around you will immediately understand that shift, and that's okay. Some connections naturally change as you evolve, not because of conflict, but because your paths no longer move at the same pace. Instead of forcing explanations, allow your transformation to unfold with patience and self-trust. What matters most is that you continue forward with clarity, openness, and the courage to embrace what feels right for who you are becoming. Because your blessing doesn't need their permission, it only needs your obedience to the calling, and your calling is sacred. You were never meant to follow the crowd. You were always meant to follow the light. That's why you've been called strange, emotional, too deep. That's why the world never truly felt like home, because your true home is heaven, and heaven is where your instructions are written. Your soul knows the way, and now heaven is whispering, it's time to return to the path. If you've made it this far, beloved, this message was carved for your soul. Pause now. Subscribe. Don't forget this moment. Heaven surely won't. I'll say one last thing before the final part of this divine journey. Your name has been spoken in rooms of angels. You have been requested by heaven to rise. Not later, not someday. Now. Your enemies are being silenced. Your blessings are being expedited. Your spirit is being recharged. But it all hinges on this one decision. Will you trust what your soul already knows? You think this is just a message. No, this is a divine appointment, pre-written, preordained, perfectly timed. There are no coincidences in the kingdom of God. The fact that your eyes are still here, still reading this, still connected, proves that you were meant to awaken today, not yesterday, not tomorrow. Today, heaven has been waiting for your yes, and now, the gate is open. But it won't stay open forever. There is a window in time, and it is moving. You must walk through before it closes, or you'll feel it, the heaviness return, the silence, the spiritual fog. But it doesn't have to be that way. That's why Michael is speaking now, to stop what was coming before it gets too close. Listen to me. Something was coming for you, an energy meant to distract you, a false door, a shiny lie, a temporary fix that looked like truth. But now that you've stayed here, now that you've heard this far, that path is breaking apart. You just made a different choice by choosing to stay present. You just broke a timeline of pain. Do you know how powerful that is? You didn't just save your next week. You saved your next lifetime. Some people will spend decades trying to figure out what you just shifted in moments. And it wasn't because you were perfect. It was because you were willing. Heaven doesn't need your perfection. It needs your presence. There is someone who has been spiritually assigned to walk with you in this lifetime. They are not far. You have passed them before, maybe even looked at them without realizing who they were. But heaven sees what you do not. Their soul is already aware of you. That's why you may feel sudden waves of emotion out of nowhere. That's why your heart feels full and empty at the same time. They are calling to you, and the closer they get, the more emotional your body will feel. You are being prepared for sacred reunion. but it only happens when you're ready. And now, you are almost there. Just a little longer, just a little more faith, just one more step of trust. There is someone who has been spiritually assigned to walk with you in this lifetime. They are not far. You have passed them before, maybe even looked at them without realizing who they were. But heaven sees what you do not. Their soul is already aware of you. That's why you may feel sudden waves of emotion out of nowhere. That's why your heart feels full and empty at the same time. They are calling to you, and the closer they get, the more emotional your body will feel. You are being prepared for sacred reunion, but it only happens when you're ready. And now you are almost there. Just a little longer, just a little more faith, just one more step of trust. Don't go back to the old. Don't reattach to what you've already outgrown. Don't text them again. Don't go searching through memories that don't deserve your return. Let what fell away stay away, not out of bitterness, out of wisdom, because you cannot open a new door with old keys. And you cannot enter the next level of your life still holding hands with the version of you that was begging to be loved. That earlier version of you carried you through things you didn't yet understand, and it deserves recognition. It showed resilience when life felt uncertain, and it kept you moving until you reached this point of awareness. Now you're being invited into a new chapter where growth looks less like survival and more like intentional change. This is where forgiveness becomes a form of freedom, not for those who hurt you, but for your own inner peace. Letting go of unresolved memories doesn't erase the past, it simply stops it from defining your present direction. What once felt like rejection or loss can often be understood later as redirection towards something better aligned with you. Even the setbacks that once felt like failure can become the hidden structure that supports your future stability. Life has a way of creating space when something no longer fits, allowing new opportunities to form quietly in the background. In that space, awareness grows, and you begin noticing patterns, timing, and subtle shifts that guide better decisions. Trusting your intuition means staying present, observing your path with clarity, and acting with patience rather than urgency. Not every moment needs to be shared. Some experiences become stronger when held privately and protected from outside influence. As you move forward, focus on alignment, emotional balance, and the choices that support your long-term well-being. The more you honor your growth, the more life reflects back stability, clarity, and meaningful progress in return. Keep your energy steady, stay grounded in what feels right, and allow your next chapter to unfold at its own pace without rushing outcomes or forcing certainty beyond what you can presently hold emotionally. The enemy always sends confusion before a miracle, but not this time, because now, you know, now, you've heard, and now, Michael stands behind you with his sword drawn. Anyone who tries to cross your divine path now will be removed, swiftly, gently, without your effort. That's what divine protection looks like. Peace, without battle. You are entering a new season, a supernatural season, a season where things that once took years will now take days, where what once felt impossible will now feel inevitable, where closed doors will swing open before you even knock. And it's not because you forced it, it's because you finally aligned with what heaven already wrote in your name. Yes, your name. The one written in the stars, the one the angels sing when they speak of your soul, the one that made your loved one in heaven cry when they saw you open this message at last. And now, as you read this final sentence, I want you to do one thing. Place your hand over your heart, close your eyes, breathe slowly, and say this out loud, not with fear, but with sacred fire. I receive, I am chosen, I am ready. And with those words, it is done. You will feel the shift. You will hear from heaven. You will not be alone. I promise you. This is Archangel Michael, and I have been watching over you since before your first breath. You are deeply loved. Now go. Your miracle is already on its way. Breathe in now, not just with your lungs, but with your spirit. Feel the stillness in this moment. This is the holy hush after the storm. This is the place where tears fall quietly, not from pain, but from recognition. The deepest part of you is waking up, and for the first time in so long, you're not resisting it. You're allowing it. You're softening into what you once feared. That's courage. That's the beginning of true alignment. And now, heaven leans in closer. God is here, and I, Michael, am still beside you. I will not leave until the message is sealed. Do you understand now why it had to happen that way? Why they had to leave? Why the road curved when you begged for it to go straight? Why you had to lose what you thought you couldn't live without? It wasn't punishment, it was precision. God was carving out the version of your life that you couldn't yet see. He knew what was ahead. He knew the way your soul would glow once the darkness was finally behind you. And now, here you are, not broken, not ruined, but reborn, wiser, deeper, braver than ever before. I need you to trust what's next. You don't need to understand at all. You just need to stay close to the light. Speak to God like you're speaking to a friend, because that's exactly what He is. You don't need fancy prayers, just honesty, just presence. Heaven doesn't need performance, it needs connection. And that's what this moment is, a sacred reconnection. You've been circling the truth your whole life, and now it's standing right in front of you. Open your hands, release the fear, say yes, because when you do, things will move quickly. The right people will appear, the wrong ones will fall away with peace. Doors you've been knocking on for years will swing open like they were always meant to. Even your body will feel lighter, your mind will find clarity, your sleep will deepen, your laughter will come back. That is what happens when you stop running and start receiving. When you say, I'm not going to fight this anymore, I'm going to walk in it. And beloved, that's what I see now, you, walking boldly into your purpose, fully aware that heaven has your back. So let me give you a gift before I go, a sacred truth you can come back to any time you feel lost. Your soul already knows the way. When the world is loud, return to your breath. When fear rises, return to this message. When you're unsure, look up, because angels still walk with you, not because you're perfect, but because you were always loved, and nothing, absolutely nothing, can change that. You don't have to chase anything anymore. You don't have to hustle for what's already yours. Your soulmate, your opportunity, your breakthrough, they are already marked with your name. You are no longer in survival mode. You are in divine mode, and everything that flows to you now will come by peace, by ease, by grace. Yes, grace is the new law over your life, not struggle, not chaos, not confusion. Grace. Now breathe again, and know this, from this day forward, Archangel Michael walks ahead of you, clearing paths. Move forward with clarity and strength. Let go of confusion and hidden traps. You are not alone in your journey. You carry resilience built through every challenge you have survived. You are stepping out of uncertainty and into a life shaped by awareness, courage, and steady purpose. What once felt heavy is now becoming the foundation of your growth. You are not defined by setbacks, but by how you rise after them. There is a shift within you that brings calm where fear used to live. As you move forward, trust your inner voice. It is becoming stronger and clearer each day. Some people and situations will naturally fall away, and that is part of your realignment, not your loss. New paths are opening, and delayed progress is beginning to move again in meaningful ways. Every unanswered moment of the past is building into understanding in your present. You may notice your mindset changing, more grounded, more focused, more at peace with what you cannot control. Even in silence, growth continues beneath the surface. Let your actions reflect calm confidence rather than fear or doubt. You are becoming someone who brings stability into uncertain spaces. Others may sense this change in you, responding with either respect or distance. Both are natural reflections of your growth. Keep walking without chasing what is meant to leave. What is aligned with you will remain. What is not will gently step aside. Life is not delayed, it is unfolding in the right timing. What once felt like loss may reveal itself as redirection. Keep trusting the process and allow your life to unfold with patience, strength, and quiet confidence each step of the way.